Are you scared? You should be.
Hello, Internet.
Who do you think you are, the Crypt Keeper?
No. No. No, I'm not.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty. Sorry. I had to try and keep the creep up, but that just went out the window.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was just like...
You just punted it right out the window like a...
Anyway.
It's okay. It's all well and good. So, well, guys, who here has been in a haunted house before?
Not really, no.
How about a live immersion event?
Yep.
Yeah.
Done that. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Nope.
why do people like to be scared so much?
Adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Same reason they go skydiving.
Nope.
Same reason they go on roller coasters. Hey yo.
Mm.
I'm a huge roller coaster fan. I love them.
Contrary
to what these Chungai.
I do not care for roller coasters.
Okay.
What
Afraid
is
of
it?
heights.
Somebody's got to explain to me what a chungus is after the video.
Well, I mean, you know, it's either you're a chungus or you're not. You just know.
Number one rule in life.
Don't be a chungus.
There you go.
Rule number 2, if you persist in being a chungus,
Stop.
stop.
All right. So, haunted houses. The best one I've been to. It was a local one, actually. It was in my hometown. They took the fire hall.
Ooh, all right.
The old fire hall, which creepy enough by itself, and then they turned it into this haunted house with all the trimmings and all the nasty stuff that you can like. For instance, they threw live worms on us.
All right.
I mean, honestly, here's how it was. We were going through a hallway, and it had like these little. It had like it. They like wetted down the. Like, I don't know what they did, like a spray bottle or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it had like those those clear strips of clear. It's like clear strip material that you like walk through. It feels like almost hair almost that you're going through, and it was wet. And as you were going through it, there were people over top like dropping worms on you, and.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
Oh man, that's
Hey, good way to get bait. So
Actually, I know a lot of guys that fish that would be thrilled with that. They'd be like picking them up off the floor.
Yeah.
all right, man. Hey,
Hey,
I like
show
his, man.
those.
Yeah. So haunted houses, I'm a pretty big fan of, but there are some here that are just. There's some I've heard of. There's one in particular.
oh boy.
I think that's it up there. I'm actually seeing it, so I wonder if it's in here.
Probably. Okay.
So let's
All right,
let's take a
this.
look.
Let's do this now.
Let's get it out of the way. It maybe take it a little bit too far.
Number 8, Dead of Night. Dead of Night was an attraction on Long Island which had one of the most horrifying haunt openings many had ever seen. Everyone waited in lines listening to a calming "We are here for your protection" recording.
Everything will be okay.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You are safe. We are here to protect you and care for you. We love you. Nothing is real. All is well.
What?
Which was interrupted at intervals by an air raid siren and men in gas masks and suits, who each grabbed an unsuspecting patron and dragged them into the haunt. However, you'd be lucky if you were dragged in. Some people were zipped into body bags, and some were thrown over actors' shoulders and carried inside. The haunt opened with this very strong abduction scenario, then the focus shifted to humiliation, which included the smearing of strange substances on patrons' faces, and even hitting people in the face with large and painfully heavy objects, going as far as fake genitalia.
What?
Dead of Night has been discontinued from the Chamber of Horrors this past year.
What?
Number 7, Scare House The Basement.
What the?
The basement at Scare House is an intense, immersive, and interactive experience inside a nearly 100-year-old historic and apparently actually haunted building.
Why didn't anybody
You
shoot
may
the
enter
witch?
in pairs or alone, though odds are not many people will be entering this place alone. The actors in this haunted house are incredibly convincing, and there's a lot of improvisation and dialogue as you make your way through each scene of your own personal horror movie. It's not possible to make it from start to end without coming into contact and having to deal with the actors playing with you for a while. There is extreme physical contact, sexual undertones, real electric shock, religious themes, and much more. Like most on this list, you must sign a waiver before entering. The basement can get so disturbing that the attraction responsibly has a safe word to yell out if a patron happens to feel violated or too uncomfortable.
Huh.
No, thank you.
Waiting for it. It was coming.
Number 6. The Cult. The Cult was an attraction located in North Conway, New Hampshire.
Was.
The Cult has been called
You
the
notice that
ultimate in
two of these
terror
already have
only
had
for the
a
diehard
was.
fans of true horror, for those who want the true experience of real-life terror to test your fears. It is an hour-long attraction and you must walk through alone, absolutely no groups allowed.
Whoa.
Going through it, you would encounter violent and sexual situations and would be touched many times. Many, many times. As the nervous patrons meet a man before entering the attraction who asks if they have any problems with darkness, heights, claustrophobia, eels, rats, bugs, needles, or being
Now
fully
these must be
submerged
people at a
in
different
water,
house because they're
one would
obviously
have
in
to
groups.
wonder, what am I getting myself
Yeah,
into?
no, I'm tilted out by half
Patrons are
of those
given a
things,
red
so.
card on a lanyard.
Ah.
If one decides the experience is too much, they can give
Was
up
that
their
Fire
safety
Marshal Bill?
pass and it will be over. And then, one by one, patrons would be asked to step into a chairlift that leads to a dirt path, which would then lead to a cabin where you would meet a man who would shove you into a booth, yell at you, spray unknown liquids in your mouth, throw a bag over your head, and then carry you outside, where the simulated torture continues.
Sometimes they wash the head
As
bag.
one continues on, it only gets worse.
Sometimes
Throughout
they
the
don't.
attraction, you
I
would
don't
encounter
know.
live animals, for instance, having cockroaches crawl over you.
Nope.
Forced edibles, for instance, being forced to drink animal urine.
Nope.
Extreme
No.
violence, extreme sexual
this, Fear
violence,
Factor?
and much more. The cult has been closed since 2013.
I wonder why.
Number 5. Blackout Haunted House. This haunted house has 2 locations, one in New York and one in California. It features
Hey, sick
extreme
shirt there, bro.
violence, full frontal nudity, sexual situations,
What?
forced edibles, submersion in water, physical contact, and you must enter alone. Patrons have been abducted in vans, faux waterboarded, and even rolled naked in a sheet of plastic and forced to walk barefoot down a used condom-covered hallway.
What?
Said hallway would lead to a sexual assault scene, with a horrifically tall figure having sex with a frail woman in a blood-covered bed. As a patron would pass, the tall man
Okay.
would stand up exposing his nude body and then make physical contact with the patron. Blackout overall relies on darkness, loud noises, violence, and sexual situations to terrify its customers. Until recently, it has been a solo-only experience, but now groups are allowed. Number 4. Shocktoberfest Naked and Scared
Jesus.
Challenge. Shocktoberfest has proven
What?
that,
Oh,
along with
really?
intellectual and physical fears, haunted houses can also tap into superficial fears, namely the fear of one's own body. The Naked and Scared Challenge allows guests to traverse a dark haunted house nearly nude, literally stripping off outer layers of protection. However, after a brief battle with a local township, the creator of the attraction decided he couldn't allow guests to participate naked, so guests are now to wear the smallest underwear they could fit into. Guests of the attraction have said removing clothing makes the experience more intrusive, personal, and intimate. Employees use special techniques and scare devices, for example water and air blasts among others, to heighten the experience. Coupled with near freezing fall weather, it becomes a rush for those who are daring enough to go through in their underwear.
Jeez.
When patrons have that psychological layer of protection removed, it's a whole new sense that's available to be entertained and
They,
exploited.
like use feather dusters and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's still freaky though. It's like
Number
in the
3.
Punisher movie where
Freakling
the
Bros
popsicle
Victim
torturing the guy.
Experience 3.
Oh.
This Las Vegas
Yeah.
attraction features partial nudity, submersion in water, electric shock, and extreme physical contact. The victim experience is incredibly intense and you must go through alone. Patrons will experience extreme physical contact, light torture, simulated drowning, and more. One patron said he watched a camouflaged attacker appear out of nowhere, grab his colleague by the foot, then knock her down and drag her away down a long hallway.
Whoa.
He was left alone in the darkness until the attacker came back for him and threw him over his shoulder. Patrons will experience real electric shock, as well as the feeling of near drowning as they are submerged underwater. As the title of the attraction suggests, once you enter, you are a victim. You will experience pain, you will be tied up, and you may be carried and thrown. Freakling Brothers actually runs 3 haunted houses every year: Castle Vampire, Circus of Horrors, and Gates of Hell. The Gates of Hell became one of the first haunted houses in the country to be R-rated due to graphic content and the requirement of patrons to be over 18 and sign a waiver. The victim experience takes place in the Gates of Hell, and it simulates what it would be believed to be like to die and actually go to hell. Without giving too much away, victims are put in several scenes where they're touched, forced to get down on their knees, and subjected to things that anyone would find shocking. Number 2, the Raven's Nest. One of the lesser known extreme haunted houses, the Raven's Nest has been closed since 2009. It had been closed after it was deemed as too extreme by the town. The Raven's Nest featured actors who were paid to induce pain on the patrons, as well as other humiliating methods of torture. The owner, Mccamey Manor, would hire mostly larger, more intimidating actors who would be capable of easily picking up, tying, or shoving patrons. Visitors would also be kicked to the floor and forced to do things like lick the ground, eat disgusting foods and liquids off the floor, and even have actors stick their fingers down patrons' throats to induce vomiting.
Oh.
The attraction also played with claustrophobia, having patrons crawl through air vents filled with real cockroaches and spiders, as well as constant tight and cramped rooms and pathways.
I'd be out there.
There was no safe word, which may have been a small factor in the eventual closing of the Raven's Nest. Number 1, Mccamey Manor.
Oh, of course they'd
This
be
San
number
Diego
1.
attraction shouldn't even be in the same category as regular haunted house attractions. This extreme haunt tops this list because it can use scare tactics that are off limits to professional attractions. It also can't be said that what goes on in this place is safe.
Yes, please let me out, please!
Participants are covered in blood, forced to eat disgusting things, threatened with power tools, stuffed in a clothes dryer, submerged in water, physically assaulted, forced to drink urine, and even given an unwanted haircut.
Done.
Are you quitting? Say it then.
I'm quitting.
No, you're not. Pick her up here. Pick her up.
Oh, dude.
Alright, okay. Alright.
Where did that other one come from?
I don't know.
I don't know if we want to know.
Participants often leave covered in blood, commonly their own, and so far nobody has made it through to the end. There is no safe word, and they only pull the plug when medically necessary. This house plays with people's fears of
How are they qualified to
claustrophobia,
determine when it's
with
medically
tight spaces in
necessary?
corridors,
Yeah.
people's fears of spiders, with restrained victims having up to or even more than 4 tarantulas crawling over their faces, people's fears of clowns, and just about anything else you could think of. Perhaps one of the more shocking parts is that the experience goes on for about 5 to 8 hours, maybe hence why nobody's made it through to the end yet. The Mccamey Manor house is for extreme horror lovers only who wish to experience what true terror or gross out torture feels like. But apparently there are a lot of people who wish to experience it, as there's a waiting list of more than 17,000.
What?
What?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't want this. I don't want it. I don't want it.
So this is our video to you, Russ. Wish us luck. Checking in, everybody. If we don't talk to you again, we love you all.
Good luck, Mario and Luigi.
Bye. See you soon.
They're going in dressed like that?
I don't know.
Yes,
Oh,
they
they're
are.
gonna 20 minutes in.
20 minuets.
I want to quit.
Into the tour.
I want to quit.
Get those hands up. Why are you crying? Why are you crying?
Because I'm a big pussy, Russ.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You guys are fucking freaking me out. Sorry, sir.
It's because you're useless.
Steven! Mine, I'm scared.
Yeah. You know, we haven't started yet. We haven't started yet. We haven't started yet. We haven't started yet. Why are you crying? I'm scared, Russ.
Yeah, look like you're scared. Okay, give us some more water. Let me relax. You're okay. We're okay right now.
Jeez.
You all right? Tell us what's going on, Steve. Tell us what's happening.
Nobody should fucking do this.
Yeah.
Nobody should do this.
I mean, is that even qualify as a haunted house, or is it just like a torture house?
A simulated torture house, from what I've heard, man. The Mccamey Manor, I've heard about it. I've heard about it before, as the most extreme place to go for frights and horror and truly feeling helpless. Because the truth is, to me, the greatest fear is the fear of the unknown, but to truly scare someone with actual sights and with actual stuff like that, you have to go to the extreme. That's just like people saying Saw, saying Saw is like a full-blooded horror movie. No, to me, Saw is a torture film. Saw is a true gore porn torture film because it has to go to the extremes because there are no true unknowns in the film. And you see, that's just like, I find Alien far more terrifying than Saw because of the fear of the unknown. Because because in the beginning you don't know what the xenomorph looks like.
I mean, it's always scarier when you don't see the monster.
Yes, Jaws.
I mean, let's be fair. The only thing that Cloverfield had going for it for a very long time was that you didn't see the monster.
Yeah,
and then you saw the monster, and then it was just dumb. It was dumber. I mean, shaky cam is not a good way to make a movie.
Well, they tried. They had an experiment. It didn't work. Hopefully, Cloverfield Lane, 10 Cloverfield Lane, the sequel.
Wait, they're getting a sequel?
Yeah.
What?
This amount of time later. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I'll show you. But that's something else. All right. So, guys, what is the weirdest and strangest haunted house experience you've ever had? To me, it was the worms. And also. They also had a simulated kill in one of them. A guy crawled out of a grave trying to escape, covered in dirt and everything, and a guy came out of a shed with an axe and chops him right in the middle of the back, and he spits out blood and falls over on the ground dead. It's just like, to me, that was the most terrifying thing I'd ever seen because the guy was huge. He was like 6'6", about 300 pounds, and he was bald and had huge wailing beard out to here, and he was just like, he had this mask on that pretty much covered down to here, and on his forehead he said it had written I am God here, and it was terrifying because later on I saw the Purge Anarchy. And that guy had the mask on with God written on top of it. I'm like, yeah, that sent chills down my spine because I was reminded of that. And in terms of the question on here, how long do you think you would last in the Mccamey Manor? I would not go.
Like negative 2 years.
Negative life. I would never step foot near the place.
Yeah, I think it's kind of it's super cheaty face that they require you to sign a waiver saying that you can't do anything to defend yourself, but we can do a whole bunch of nasty stuff to you.
I mean, you're
so
entering into a voluntary contract, but it's still a violation of the non-aggression principle.
I feel like the line should be like we can't physically like strike you and stuff or force feed you things, but everything else like we try and scare you or maybe
and it can't be any true unknown fluids. Like you can tell people it's water, but still their mind in the midst of the terror is going to think it's something else.
It's like corn syrup and red food coloring. Oh, blood, whatever.
Yeah.
But
that you see stuff like that. That's all well and good, but
because part of it is like an immersion thing. Like you suspend. Belief and disbelief in things. So it's like, oh, this is totally blood. These are psychos.
Yeah.
I think because you got to play along with it a little bit, but just like
you do.
Physically abusing people.
You give yourself over to it because you want to feel that fear in some ways. You want to have that adrenaline rush. But to this extent, I mean, this is some stuff that I really don't understand, and I don't want to understand because
I feel like this presents a really weird opportunity for like sexual predators and things because they would like get
Yeah.
hired onto these things to
Yep.
like go in and abuse people.
Yeah.
So that's a little unnerving.
Yeah, that like people who live to truly terrorize and like like true bastards of society. They could flourish in situations like that. Whereas, people who do it, just to have give people a good scare, a good adrenaline rush. It would give people like that a bad name. It would give people like that a bad rap, and I hate that. Because I know people who've worked in haunted houses. And they're and a lot of them are nice people. But to this extent, I don't know, man.
I actually got asked to work in a haunted house once.
Really?
Yeah. To be fair, I was outside a corn maze on Halloween, dressed like Ash Williams from Evil Dead, complete with chainsaw arm.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I was flattered that the guy asked. That made me feel really good because, I built that chainsaw prop from scratch.
There you go.
But no, like psychologically, like I can't know. Like I don't even want to. I don't want to have anything to do with this. No.
Yeah.
No.
I understand that entirely. And
yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this: I love being scared to some extent. Five Nights at Freddy's and all that. That's all well and good. That's all good fun. But stuff like this, I really can't see myself getting into. Like good haunted houses and good haunted corn mazes and stuff like that. Good local stuff that.
There's something to be said for presentation, but I don't necessarily want that presentation to be done to me.
No.
So, no.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah. So once again, guys, let us know what the worst experience you had in a haunted house was. What was your favorite haunted house? And let us know down in the comments down below. If there's other stuff you want us to watch, let us know also down below. And yeah, if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Check out Mr. Nightmare. This video, 8 extreme haunted houses that take it too far. It's in the description down below if you can handle it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
honestly, what I want to know, if anyone is watching this has been to one of these, tell us what happened.
Yeah,
I'm honestly kind of curious.
Yeah,
about some
I
of
am as
these.
well.
Yeah.
I am as well because I want to know if it really is as bad as they portray.
Like, I can't handle people like hitting me and stuff because I want to hit them back. But some of the other ones where they just try and use scare tactics, I don't know. I kind of want to see if I could do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I'll keep the car running.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, let us know what you think. Also, hit that like button if you like the video. Check the description for all of our various other endeavors. And signing off for the Renegades, I'm Nate.
I'm Ben.
Micah.
And we will see you later, Internet. Peace out.